Hi subscribers, hi viewers. I'm getting ready to go into a park, and what I have to do is to scan this QR code so that I can enter. So it's taking just a few seconds. I hope it will be finished in a second. So we just finished scanning. You can tell it says I am got no abnormal conditions, but what we're doing now is this seems to be like an Olympic themed park, and I've never been here before. So not being here, it is quite interesting. Actually, this park is a few minutes away from my apartment. I'm talking about the pace of distance of 10 to 15 minutes by cycling. So you can see the Beijing Winter Olympics mascots here. So we're just gonna continue in the park before we go buy some groceries. Anyway, I just want to talk about life in general in Beijing, why it's interesting. I've been seeing a lot of videos worldwide. That's one of part of my interest, like mainly if I'm doing e-commerce, I've got time to do that, to watch some YouTube videos. I'm a YouTuber as well, so I need to watch what other YouTubers are doing and how they're doing their videos, the current affairs worldwide, and the standard of living. I myself am not Chinese, I'm African, and I have lived in Europe, so I've never really had an interest to visit the United States. But although if you're living in the world, you need to actually know exactly what's happening in the United States. So what worries me the most, I need to talk about, is the standard of living. The standard of living in China. Like I said, I've lived in Europe. I have worked in Europe. I'll tell you my jobs really. I lived in Europe. But first, I was a student. Started a few jobs, and started a few businesses. In that time, I was able just to learn about the British culture and some European culture. At that time, the United Kingdom was part of the European Union at that moment. So I had a few jobs which were really interesting and a few businesses which were really interesting. And I started doing e-commerce when I was in Leeds, England. So that's when I had my first test of e-commerce. I started with that was eBay. I made a healthy amount of money just to leave my other jobs, and actually what I used to do is I'll buy second-hand items and just sell them on eBay. So that's how I managed to make a quick turnover in selling books. And after that, I went to Gumtree. I don't know if in your countries you got Gumtree, but I went on Gumtree. Gumtree, I was able to sell some sofas. I was in a business with my cousin. We were selling some sofas, and those sofas we will deliver. Mainly we started with sofas, but we ended up with all household bedroom furniture and living room furniture. We're getting the furniture from a guy who used to order from China, and we were getting we were getting the sofas from some Polish guys. So we'll advertise in England, Scotland, Wales, and sometimes Northern Ireland. But that's when I got to really travel most of the United Kingdom, seeing some different areas. different cities. Most cities I managed to, because our sofas were cheap, and we were offering something like a 2-day delivery or 1-day delivery. And sometimes people will be surprised, like you order a sofa in the morning, when we're on our way to the warehouse, it will be delivered on the same day. No wonder why we had reliable clients. In the same time, on doing these businesses, I got involved in investing in Africa at that time. So it ended up being a sad story, but I got everything back to normal now. So what happened next is I got involved in Amazon, because I had a friend who said, you know what, Amazon is a better platform and better than eBay and Gumtree. You know, people, you got really honest customers and everything. That's when I got involved in Amazon. Now this Amazon story starts like this. It was interesting how I made money on Amazon. That at that moment when I finished, I had cancelled. I bought myself out of the sofa. In fact, I did not buy myself out. I left the sofa, the furniture selling business, because it was a hassle for me, and long hours, average pay, and the Amazon business was one of the most simplest thing I did when I was in the United Kingdom. I will simply go to a charity shop, like in the area that I lived. It was a posh area, so you'll get some good quality books, and it was a university student area, so I'll get some very, very good quality books. Getting those good quality books is in the topics, using the searches, comparing the prices. I would check the prices first, was the main issue, and check what the books were needed. So the other thing is, I would buy 3 books for something like £1 and resell those books. I remember the book which I made more money from is, I bought it for 33 pence, something equivalent to 33 cents, and sold it for over £15. That was just profit, over £15. So that shows it was a very, very successful business. Got involved in advertising for some friends, because I was able to do that. Started getting contacts from people who wanted to sell stuff, or people who wanted to do price comparison for them for some products, and that's when it became successful. But as time went on, I went ahead, and like I said, as time went on, I went ahead. Sorry, I was just checking on my daughter to see where she is. As time went on, I went ahead and got involved into the car business. I met my Chinese wife when we used to live in England. So that's when I met her. That's a long time ago, a really long time ago. That we even got a grown-up daughter. We managed to spend a couple years apart and really reunited. It's a long story cut short, which I will narrate whilst I am talking. So now the story goes like this. I leave the United Kingdom, go back to Africa. In Africa, it was really an adventurous moment for me, because I had not been in Africa for something like 15 years. That's how the story is. I had left Africa and not been there for 15 years. I had left as a teenager, now going back as an adult. You understand the difference and everything. Went back, tried to look for the projects that I was investing in. Everything. If I buy machinery, mainly I got involved into the mining business. That's what I started with and focused on. So I got, like I said, I got into the mining. I discovered that I was sponsoring some businesses, and those businesses, my sponsorship was the salaries, really was just profit, and the machinery had been sold. It was heartbreaking having to travel. So that's when I got back. I went initially when I went back to Africa after 15 years. I went with my wife, my current wife, and what happened is we managed to stay there for like a week, having found my business machinery being sold and everything, and she decided to really come back to China. She had graduated, I had graduated, so I just came back. Really wanted to focus, to catch up with family and friends, extended families, people that I'd never seen before, and really tracing where my machinery had been sold, where my machinery had gone, and if I could salvage anything, or what other business opportunities I had. So I traveled around some mining communities. I traveled, oh, these are the people. This is a park, really. You can't say we're going through some COVID restrictions at the moment. People are just out enjoying their time and families. So now talking about what happened after. No machinery, spending time with some gold mining area. I got to know more about real first-hand experience of gold mining, because what you see, theory and practice don't work together. It's different. You have to spend time with the people who really go underground, and it wasn't professional mining, right? And spent some time there, and I saw it wasn't profitable fast enough for me. Then I went for one season of farming. It wasn't a full season, really. I lived in a farm, did some farming. First it was the harvesting season, then I managed to do some farming, and I left that. It was just one season. It's a long story, and you know, I'll tell you the business mentality on the chapter of exactly what happened if you subscribe to the channel. Now I'm now doing my tomato farming. You know, having lived in Europe and going back to live with people who have lived in one area, not been to the city, farm people, and you trying to negotiate with a grade zero, someone who cannot even write their name, someone who cannot even count. Just imagine the stress and the pressure it will give you for you to try to reason with that individual. It seems like we are exiting the park now. It's very interesting. I've seen this area last time when I was on the bus, really. So now I decided, okay, I am a professional. Let me go do some business where? In the capital. That was my story. Left the farm, went to the capital. I remember the first day I got robbed. Money for my office rental, so I had to sleep rough for something like a day or two. Actually, it was like 2 days. And the person who robbed me was the person I was trying to rent the office. The individual had no job. So I decided, you know what? I can give you an opportunity. I'm one person who's really starting up. I'm new in the area. So what I can do with you and what I can do for you is I will rent some office space. Then you work with me. You know the area. You know the places to go. I don't know the area. Like, the first place I need to know is where the parliament is and where some certain companies are. So you can help me with that, and you can work as a messenger. I offered that individual a salary which was equivalent to a civil servant salary, because I knew that I was capable and I was going to make that amount of money. What I did is, at that moment, Africa, my country, had an issue of financial issues, like the money you have to go collect it, not from the bank. The cash machines have got no money, so you need to go to these agents. Did that, collected the money, and they said, you know what, I need to get this paperwork done. You doing my company registration. So this was just like on the first day, I'd arrived in the morning. And I'm like, on the first day, I'm like, okay, you go to the office so that when I come back, I'll be finished printing you this. Oh no, the agent was like, okay, you can get a certain amount, but the rest you come and get it in about a few minutes. And I tell the guy, okay, you go get the rest of the money. He decides, well, he goes to get the money and he vanished. It disappeared. Now I had problems, serious problems of not having enough money. But to cut the long story short, I managed to rent an office. Rented an office. I had some agents. I started a public affairs consultancy company. So I just started as a lobbyist. Recruited a few individuals. Because of the job scarcity, you need to, people will pay to get a job really. I was charging for the interviews and charging for, yeah, that's what helped me to really provide the work material for my team. So those people, I worked with the individuals for a while, and as time went on, I expanded into marketing. When I got into marketing, that's when the business really picked up, because with a public affairs consultancy company, ended up laying off a few people because they were not serious. I discovered that it was me doing most of the work, and you cannot be doing work for your employees and paying them. That's not how it works in business. You need for them to be doing their duties, for them to be doing their job, and making sure that they're generating enough money, enough income for the company, for you to be able to provide money for their salaries. So that went on. Now I'm doing the marketing business, and I got a good job that I was even given a car by a client. It was a Mercedes CL class, and it's a SL or CL. I can't remember, but I didn't even get to use the car, honestly. I didn't. So now we are exiting the park. We are exiting the park. We're just gonna get a bike and continue with the video. Like what I'm saying is, we're just gonna choose this bike. Is actually the better one. Like what I'm saying is, okay, let me get the bike, get my daughter, and we go. I continue with the story. So as I'm narrating the story, is I managed to get to a stage where now I'm really having regular clients. I was selling cars. A lot of them were cars for my clients. I just used my experience. I just used my knowledge from the UK and applied it as business practice. And people were happy they were so happy, my clients, with my success and with my sales, that I was being offered a lot of deals. And remembering the struggles, I will spend a few hours 3 times a week attending the Parliament portfolio committees. That was 3 times a week, and attending the Parliament as well, the Parliament sessions. As a lobbyist, I needed to do that, and that's where I was really getting some clients. And I discovered that because I was talking to my wife on daily basis. I was talking to my wife on daily basis, and she was being frustrated that I'm choosing to be in Africa. It's not really like profitable. Like, it's not, because I got sick a couple of times, which was not really beneficial for both of us, and the standard of living was really low. So my next solution was to make my way to China, and she tried really. It was, I was in Africa for something like 3 years, and she really wanted me to be in China as soon as it was possible. So the longer I delayed, the more she got frustrated and everything. I remember I got so sick at some point where she said, I should just jump on the next flight. But then I'd lost my passport, so I am sharing an office. I'm working, living in my office, and I was showering at the gym at that moment. I'll go to the gym to shower, come back, work, act as if everything is normal. When I shower at the gym, the advantage of our gym, it was attached next to the swimming pool. I just need to cross the street here and avoid the traffic because I'm with a child. So safety comes first. So anyway, shower in the gym. After showering in the gym, go on about my work until all the businesses are closed, and work overnight as well, because what I'll do is, this is my life really, working in different time zones, and I am still working in different time zones. And when my wife first came to China and left me in Africa, she sent some goods that I had to sell. It's another story. I've done a video about that where I explain exactly how people take advantage in Zimbabwe, mainly in Zimbabwe, when you're trying to do business. To you, it's not for you to be profitable when you're doing business, it's for them to make money out of you. So it's not wise to do business in Zimbabwe if you're not on the ground. Even if you're on the ground, don't ever trust anybody. That I learned that through a really serious way, and the people I trusted the most are the ones that let me down. So we got to a stage where really I was doing my things, and I was not becoming successful. Then one day I just woke up and just decided to come to China. I had no passport. It took months to get a passport in Zimbabwe. I didn't have enough money for the flight, and I didn't have a visa to come to China. So I thought, like, okay, I've been through the Western life, so I've got to take a risk. I paid my bills, paid everything I had to pay to clear my debts and everything. I remember I was left with money to apply for a 6-month passport. And when I was applying, they told me, no, if you pay $200 dollars extra, you will get your passport within like is this something like a week or so. Then there's a one which is a 48 hours something. That's the process. So I applied for a 6-month passport. Then after 2 days, one of my clients paid me, went back with a $200, paid, got changed my passport to be 1 week. Then got hustled again, paid more money for my passport to be 24 hours there. It didn't matter how much money I was paying, so as long as I was cutting the times. So now I'd just less than 48 hours to get my passport. Got my passport, and the following day is I was like, I need to go to the Chinese embassy to get a visa. And it was so smooth, like you know, the Chinese people don't understand. To come to China is one of the simple and the easiest process you'll ever go through, because as long as you are transparent, they're able to help. As long as you're transparent, you get your things processed quicker. So I was like, okay, my wife decided, okay, I cannot get a spouse visa at that moment. I need to apply for a student visa, and I needed to provide my bank statements, which I had my statements from Europe, because I was still using the same bank accounts. And I had to apply the application. I did the application. It took something like a few, really just like few days, talking about three to something days. Then when I told my wife that I'm now getting my passport within just like a few days, she started the application process. So the response was quick. Everything was done online, and I got offered a place, and paid all the fees, went to the embassy, got my passport, provided all my bank statements, and provided all the information, necessary information they needed. The main reason, because I know people right now say I used a student visa to come to China. No, I used a student visa to come and learn Chinese in China, so that I could continue doing business with the Chinese. Do not confuse yourself and with how I came to China. First of all, like, okay, I came on a student visa when I was coming to reunite with my spouse. No, I did not come here to think on a student visa. I wanted to learn Chinese so that I can continue, become self-employed, do my businesses and everything. So now I've got my visa. I left Africa, went to South Africa, departed from South Africa really. I took my flight from South Africa, went straight to China, and that was the weird first experience which I had. So now I'll cut the long story short. The long story short goes like this. Sorry, I'm trying to find a way so that I got enough time to explain this whole process for you. The long story goes like this: is after coming to China, I studied Chinese. I met some more international students. I had been to 2 British universities, and in those universities I had never met as much foreign students as I have met in China. Well, because I do understand, because everybody that was studying Chinese, so it was all foreign students. I've made a lot of friends. When there, then I discovered that there were a lot of business opportunities that I still had to do. Then I started getting myself involved in a little bit of sourcing products, which was really part-time, generating an income. Although my wife wanted me to concentrate on my studies, I was making deals with some Chinese business people. I was on LinkedIn a lot, getting friends all the time, working on my previous channel, which was closed. But most of the time I was on LinkedIn, checking what's happening in China, which businesses, who are the people who are business active and who are active on LinkedIn, I can talk and discuss business with. After being on LinkedIn talking to this family friend of my wife, I generated some money to buy heavy mining machinery equipment. And within a year, I made my way. That's when I made my way back to Africa to try to set up a mining business again. I went to Africa, set up a mining business, bought the really heavy industrial machinery. I'll show you some videos on the heavy mining machinery. And came back to China because I could not leave the machinery. I could not just leave my wife at that time. And I came back for the birth of my daughter. I remember I was only here in China for like a week, headed back to Africa. When I headed back to Africa, the mining business was not making as much as I expected, and because there's a wear and tear of machinery, so you need to make sure that your machinery do not get overused. Your machinery do not overworks, and by the time you need to use it, it's worn out. What you do is you continue in a way of like store it and come back and use it. So that's what I did. I even tried one more time when somebody asked to use the machinery. We're talking about not alluvial reef mining, where it's underground mining, really dangerous mining, water pumps. When I came back to China after my daughter was born, I bought more equipment, shipped it to Africa. That was the time really I got seriously involved into shipping and sourcing. My shipping and sourcing business was like this. I only focused in Africa at the time. I only focused in Africa because I had a market, a very good market then. I was not really interested in starting and continuing Amazon or eBay, any e-commerce. I only wanted to do what was necessary at that moment, what was commercially viable at that moment. So not to really start from square one. So I just advertised, started getting clients. We're talking about the first week. I had some orders. I even traveled to Guangzhou to meet my shipper, my freight forwarder. I was an agent, facilitating everything, taking orders and shipping the goods. And it was not until I started getting clients from the UK really who had taken notice of my services, and I started providing the services for them, and mostly the diaspora community, the expats, African expats are living in the UK. So I will ship to their countries, which was really good money because now I was starting to earn in British pounds. And one day I experienced a very difficult thing, that I had a huge consignment which the clients, some clients, I don't know what the intentions were. They ordered the goods, then I used most of my money thinking that they were reliable and didn't pay me. So I can't say that I lost some money because I just got the goods auctioned, and I decided it was a headache. Then I had a contract for telemarketing, so that's what I'm doing right now, telemarketing and e-commerce. Telemarketing is growing, and I'm using African agents. It's not like if I get any problems I will stop it, but at the moment I've got some agents which I'm working with. They are African people. They're easy to source. The salaries, really, they're profitable for the business, and they get paid per number of calls. That's what I'm going to do after this. I've spent some time today explaining exactly what's happening, and on the other video I will explain to you what life is like, business life is like in China, and how to be able to come to China, start your life and make it as easy and comfortable as it can be. Because I think if I'd gone to another country I would have met some challenges. I was already fed up with Europe, and being an African, I think China is more friendly, African friendly than Europe. I had experienced some racism and other issues in Europe that I don't want to go through ever again. This is the plaza where we're going to buy some groceries. Remember that China, we're going through some in Beijing at the moment. Beijing, we're going through some partial lockdown because of another wave of COVID lockdown, sort of COVID cases. So we're going through it. No wonder why you see, like in the video, there's less people, but this is what a partial lockdown is in China, and that's what it looks like. My gym is upstairs, my supermarket is downstairs, so we're going downstairs. The gym is closed, and it's a Monday midday, and I'll be starting work with my e-commerce business, telemarketing agents, in about an hour or so. And like I said, it's a Monday, and my daughter, you've seen in the video that they were kids, and those kids, they cannot go to school due to China's COVID lockdown, zero COVID policy. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment.